Okay, so this isn't really a topic I would talk about, like, really much on the channel, but considering the fact that Fairly Odd Parents was one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows ever that I watched as a kid, I felt I really needed to say my thoughts on this and just tell everyone what I think about it, because, yeah, this just really enrages me a lot, so, yeah. So, yeah, if y'all have been following Nickelodeon recently, like I did for probably the past few years ever since I was little, you would obviously kind of know that they were working on a Fairly Odd Parents live action reboot. Not a movie.
Unlike that Fairly Odd movie garbage.
They're actually working on a reboot, a somewhat revival, if you want to call it that. They're working on like a revival reboot for the Fairly Odd Parents. And just yesterday on the Paramount Plus YouTube channel, they showed us a trailer for it and showed us what it was going to look like. And yeah, it sucks. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and yeah, obviously that's not the end of the video, but yeah, you get my point. And yeah, this video isn't of course going to be containing any footage from the trailer because of, you already know. It's so obvious that I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, like I said, they revealed a new, the first trailer of what the new show was going to look like. And I'm just going to say, it's not the Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, when I was watching the trailer, all I could think of was, how in the heck was this approved by Nickelodeon themselves? Seriously. Seriously, mistakes were made. And yeah, I of course saw the trailer yesterday, and right after I was like, what have they done to one of the best TV cartoons in the history of Nickelodeon? They made it worse than what they did with season 10 of the actual show. Like, I have so many questions and no answers. But yeah, let's get into the actual trailer. But yeah, so the new show is going to be called The Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder. Yeah, very original. Although the name does really fit because everything about that trailer that we just saw was odd to me. All of it. And yeah, it's gonna be like a live action kind of thing, just like a Fairly Odd movie that y'all remember. If you're like a huge fan of the Fairly Odd Parents like I am, you would of course know that they did already make a live action movie about the show, and it was called A Fairly Odd Movie. And for some reason, it lived up to have 3 movies. The first one, and Fairly Odd Christmas, and A Fairly Odd Summer. And in those movies, Timmy Turner was played by the one and only
Drake Bell.
Yeah, we are not going to get into it. But yeah, this may sound really weird to say. I mean, if you have seen those movies, I can honestly say they might be better than that new crappy sitcom TV show or whatever it's called. It is of course a sitcom because it's literally live action. Speaking of that, why in the actual hell is it live action to begin with? The original actual show was of course already a cartoon, so why are they gonna make like a live action full series of it? Like, seriously, who in the actual hell asked for this? And speaking of which, Cosmo and Wanda for some reason are 2D animated in this live action sitcom. Why? I mean, in the other Fairly Odd live action movies, I really gotta stop bringing them up, but still, in the Fairly Odd movie, the live action movie, they were like, Cosmo and Wanda were CGI animated, so, I mean, in that it actually made sense, because CGI and it actually fitted with like the whole live action world aesthetic kind of thing. But for this, it's like they literally took a bunch of steps backwards and just put them in 2D in like a live action setting. And if you're like me, you're probably not really a big fan of that whole thing where they just put 2D animation in a live-action TV show. I actually saw some shows that did that kind of thing, and they just did not really work at all for me in a way. 2D animation and inside of a live-action show do not mix at all. Even Jorgen, the giant buff dude from the original show, appeared here, and only for like a half a second, but whatever. He was of course 2D animated too, but like, seriously, why is it live action? Seriously. And better yet, why are they making a revival for the show since they canceled it several years back? And yeah, if you just removed Cosmo and Wanda from the trailer, the show would just look like a generic, probably the most generic sitcom ever made by Nickelodeon. Pretty much the sitcoms that they've made in the past years turned out to be pretty garbage. And this new show is, of course, going to be one of them. It's not even Fairly Oddparents. I mean, yeah, Timmy, shown as a grown-up, is shown in the movie, but it's literally just the same dude. Like, no offense to the person who plays Timmy in that film, but he's just not for the role, if I'm being honest. Nothing from that trailer was reflected from the actual show besides Cosmo, Wanda, and Jorgen, and just, yeah. It really does not feel like the Fairly Oddparents we all know and love. I swear, Nickelodeon just tries to keep Fairly Oddparents alive no matter how old the show is, and just the fact they ended it back in 2016. They just want to keep the show alive, just like SpongeBob, but all things have to come to an end. I feel they should have just left the show alone. Nobody asked for this new reboot, live-action, BS, whatever the hell it is. Like I said before, Fairly Oddparents, the actual show, not this crap. It was, of course, one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. I watched it as a kid. I loved the characters. Timmy, Cosmo, Wanda, their parents, Mr. Crocker, Jorgen, and everyone else. But if you're like me, I keep saying that, but if you're like me, you probably stopped watching the show whenever since they added Chloe, that stupid little girl from season 10. For some reason, Timmy had to share his fairy godparents with Chloe for whatever reason. I don't think they've shown a single character from the actual show in this new live action show or whatever. I mean, yeah, they did show Timmy and just Cosmo and Wanda and Jorgen, but they don't count. Like, any character from the actual show has not appeared in that trailer, making the show not what it's supposed to be. I mean, maybe they will add characters from the actual show in there, but it just doesn't work. I mean, they're probably just going to have new actors play the characters, and it's just not going to be the same. At least in the live action movie, like I said, gotta stop bringing that up, but Fairly Odd movie, they did bring back the characters. They did have the voices, and well, some of them had the voices. Mr. Crocker had the voice, played by that one person, and just everyone else just actually felt like the same, kind of the same there. But for here, not so much. All I'm asking to myself right now is, why does this even need to exist to begin with? Nobody asked for it, nobody wants it, and nobody needs to have it. I'm honestly not gonna waste my time watching the show once it comes out, because I already hate it so far, and nothing can probably get me to watch it. That probably goes the same for all you Fairly Oddparents fans out there. And just the fact that Timmy literally gave away his own fairies to someone else, which he obviously was not supposed to do that in the actual show, was really, really stupid. If you're a huge fan of the show like me, you would of course know that Timmy was the only one who was supposed to know about it. He couldn't tell anyone about his fairies. I mean, they did tell his parents in that one episode, but they did eventually get their minds erased, so yeah. That trailer literally went over everything in all of the rules in the book for the show, the actual show. And all these new characters just do not really belong in a Fairly Oddparents show. And just the fact that Timmy, the main character of the whole show, is not going to have a major role in the reboot is really stupid. Like, the whole show reflects around Timmy. I mean, not entirely, though. But still, Timmy was, like, the main star of the show. And he's not gonna have, like, a huge major role in this new show. Which is really stupid, because he's the main character. Why would you just kick off the main character and just put some new characters and just have them be the main character, which does not work at all? And has anyone noticed that Nickelodeon always seems to be making lots of reboots of old shows? Some of them turn out good, some of them turn out bad. Like, seriously, when they started doing this, I was really happy that they were bringing back some old shows that we all watched as kids, but now I feel they kind of overdid it a little bit. I swear, it's like every damn month they always add a new show, and sometimes it's a reboot, or sometimes it's actually something new or creative. But lately, all they've been doing was just making reboots of old shows, and it's just really gotten really lackluster. I think it's time that they stop making reboots. I mean, not entirely. Maybe once in a while they can make a reboot, but I feel they should at least retire it for now, and at least try to make something new and creative. Not just reuse the same shows that y'all have already done and just make it worse or a teensy bit better. Just sometimes it could work, but it also couldn't. That new Fairly OddParents show definitely doesn't work out. And I really can't imagine Butch Hartman, the creator of the show, and Danny Phantom. I can't imagine he's gonna have like a huge role in this show. Like, he's an animator. He created the Fairly OddParents show, but this is live action, so I can't really imagine that they brought him in for this. I swear, they're ruining his own work. Why are they ruining a legendary icon that he created and they're making it worse? They really jumped the shark when they added Chloe and Sparky, that dog, and the girl Chloe. I stopped watching the show when they added them. Now, not only have they jumped the shark, they jumped the killer whale. Yeah, it's not funny, I get it. But still, I'm pretty sure y'all are getting what I'm saying here. I really wish that whole thing was an early April Fool's joke. Seriously, what has society become in order for this to become a thing in the first place? Absolutely everything about that trailer, about that new Fairly OddParents reboot, was a joke. It's definitely not even Fairly OddParents at this point, even if Cosmo and Wanda are there. Even so, why would they use 2D animation for Cosmo and Wanda when in the Fairly Odd movie they actually gave Cosmo and Wanda CGI animations, but in this it's just their 2D animations, which makes no sense. Like, why would they do 2D animation for this, but for the other movie they made it actual CGI animation? Like, why? What really confuses me is the fact that they even had the nerve to reboot the show, even, like, I said this before, but the show ended, I believe, in 2016, and fast forward to now where it hasn't even been 10 years since the show's been out, and it's already getting a reboot? What? The show hasn't even ended 10 years ago, and they're already rebooting it. What? Timmy was never even supposed to reveal his fairies to anyone, and also, I'm pretty sure in the episode Channel Chasers of the original show, Timmy was gonna lose his fairies once he got older, but apparently he still has them even as a grown-up. What? I'm sorry if I keep repeating points, but it's true. Everything about that show and that was shown in the trailer is trash. They've somehow managed to make the show worse than what they did with Chloe. I mean, we got all these live-action characters who we literally have no idea who they are, and we've never seen them before, and they're just suddenly canon in the Fairly OddParents franchise now, even though it's live-action, when it shouldn't even be. The show just looks like a huge 2000s parody that a YouTube creator would make in, like, the early 2000s. It just looks like a huge, cheap knockoff parody, but unfortunately, it's official. And I don't know why. There was absolutely nothing that I liked about that trailer. Everything was bad. Nothing was good. And usually I try to look on the bright side of things, but there was nothing on the bright side in that trailer. It was all bad. My man ValeSkibum94 is right. There's no reason for this to even exist to begin with. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I made all the points that I wanted to say in this video. Hope y'all understand. I mean, I can't imagine anyone likes that trailer. I mean, if you like it, that's fine, but true Fairly OddParents fans obviously don't like it, like me. But yeah, maybe I'll watch the first few episodes once it comes out and just give my overall, just see what it's like, and I'll just probably never watch another episode of it again. But yeah, I'm not even supposed to be making these kind of videos for my channel, but here we are. Back to gaming. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I really did not want to make this video, to be honest, but I just feel I needed to get these thoughts out of my head and just tell them to someone. But yeah, hope y'all understand. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So I ain't watching that Fairly OddParents new show. It just looks bad. I hate it. It's ugly, it's disgusting, and just ugh. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. They really should have just left the show alone. How has Butch Hartman even approved this? If he has. Cancel it now, Nickelodeon! Cancel it!